guys, welcome to another review. This review consists of the kitchen, the dining and the utility room. One of the main briefs for this project was to install a brand new kitchen and a brand new utility room. So we're going to see the utility room much later, but let's focus on the kitchen. I'm going to allow you guys to see what we had going on here, both the kitchen and the dining, so that you appreciate the transformation. This was a state of the kitchen / dining and utility room. You can see that it's an open plan. It's quite a spacious, kitchen. There's a lot of space to play around. The only thing the client wanted to keep was how spacious it looks, but everything had to go, including the flooring. Okay, the client so much disliked the flooring. And this is her utility room. So let's get back into the review proper. Now you have seen the before. Let us get into what we actually did here. So the first thing we did here was to change the flooring. So we replaced whatever flooring that was here with these particular tiles. We tried to push the client to see if we could get like a kitchen island, because you can see that she has a lot of space for that. But one thing the client really stressed on was the fact that she needs enough space to move around. She does not like clutter. She likes to see her free space. She likes that movement, especially because we're going to have a dining on the other side. So this is like an open plan. Two things were supposed to happen: either have a dining or have an island, but she chose to have a dining. So we had to leave this whole place free for her. So this is what really inspired the design of the kitchen you're seeing. I'm going to walk you guys through the appliances we have here. First of all, we took down the kitchen. We replaced it with this neutral cabinet you're seeing with the black handles, again because black is literally the main metal that we're using in this particular property. Then on the worktop we installed stone. Now this stone is the Calcutta, but we left it a bit minimal because again the client does not like when things are too busy in her face. So we had to go for very minimal Calcutta. Now this kind of adds a lot of character to it, because imagine that we went for the plain one on the plain cabinet, it would have been just too flat. Okay, and again the client also insisted on not wanting anything that has to do with gloss and all that. They just love mats, both flooring and cabinets. So we made sure we put all that into consideration when choosing kitchen. When installing the kitchen, we had to take off the oven hood that was here, and we installed this particular one. This is the Bosch oven hood. You can see that it's got some LED lights underneath. Another thing again that we found a bit challenging is the fact that this client, they don't do LED lights. I don't know if I've mentioned it in this video or in any of the reviews. They don't do LED lights. So we had to get like halogen bulbs or incandescent bulbs and all that. So we made sure that most of the lightings we're getting are replaceable ones, such that we can take off whatever bulbs they had or they were supposed to have and then use halogen or incandescent bulb. But for this, I think the client was willing to compromise. So these are LED lights that you can see here, and then you can see that we used the stone to create a splashback all the way up. And then we made sure that we elevated the kitchen all the way to the ceiling, because that way it kind of opened up the space even more and made the kitchen look bigger than it was before. It's quite a sizable kitchen, I'm telling you. Like if I had this kitchen, I would definitely have an island here. That's to tell you how big it is. But again, it's not my kitchen. At the end of the day, the focus was to create more storage, because that's what she was emphasizing on: more storage, more storage, more storage. So that's what we gave her here. So we have the cutlery tray here, and we also have a 5 gas burner. This is 5 actually, not 4. And then more storage, and then over here we have the white sink, which of course the client chose, and then we have a 3-way tap because they've got a purifier underneath. We have the dishwasher here, and then here is supposed to be like the pantry storage. So what they used to have here was a full pantry storage, but we had to divide it into 2 to still give her the pantry that she used to have, even though not as much as she used to have before, just because she requested a pull-out bin. So we have the 2 pull-out bins here, which is very functional for her. And then we have another storage here, and then they have the oven. One thing again, they don't use microwave, so you're not going to see microwave in this kitchen. So these are all plenty storages, and this is the fridge, freezer, okay, And then here we created another storage specifically for her pans, her cooking pans. That's one of the things she requested for again. So before now, the kitchen used to stop here. So we extended the kitchen a little bit to this space just before you get to the dining. Because again, we measured the dining and we realized that, okay, we might be able to play around with some space. So that's why we're able to create another cabinet here for her pans. So majorly, we have been able to create a lot of storage for her in this kitchen, which is exactly what she wanted. And you can see here that there are more storages behind here. So many storages, I'm not even joking. I wonder if she'll be able to use all of them. You know it, all these storages will be filled up. Anyway, they deal with less clutter. So we also introduced this little light in the center here because we wanted to divide the kitchen from the dining. So we're going to move over to the dining very soon. So this is the new kitchen that we created for the client. I love that the client was able to, extend their budget a little bit for us to get the stone all the way up a splashback. And then we also took out the blind that was here to give her this Venetian blind because again, we wanted something to contrast with the cabinets. I love having this in the kitchen because I feel like this is more practical than the other one, the Roman blinds. If you notice again in this kitchen, we accessorized with a bit of wood because this particular property, we have introduced lots of wood. So we brought in a bit of the wood into the kitchen, a bit of the green into the kitchen just to, tie in the whole space and again to add warmth to the space. On this side of the kitchen, we changed the radiator that was here because we knew that it was going to be a standalone radiator. So we changed it and then we introduced this large green frame to tie in the whole space. Before we go into the dining, let me show you guys the utility room. So this is your utility room. Again, we kept it very simple. The same cabinetry we have there is what we introduced here. The same stone worktop we have there is what we introduced here. They have even more storages here now because that's what they requested for. I mean, can never have too many storages, to be honest. So this is how we have accessorized the utility room for them, just keeping it simple but also to identify as a utility room. We introduced the laundry room, sorting life one load at a time. We also brought in these personalized bottles for them just to keep it very practical, and then we have a little plant on them. From this utility room you can actually exit the property, but then that's none of our business, is it? We also brought in this little flush light. We actually put one other light here, but because the door was interfering, the two doors were interfering, so we had to go really small with the flush light. But again, we needed something to hide the bulb, so that's why we ended up with this. Okay, now that we have finished with this particular side of the kitchen and the utility room, let us go into the dining area. Who is ready? This is the dining area. We had to first of all use a rug to demarcate the dining from the kitchen. For me, that was very important because how are we supposed to show that this is a dining area? So the first thing we did was to introduce this marble effects rug on the floor to contain all the chairs and the dining table. Now, another thing that we paid attention to when creating this dining area is the dining table. If you remember what I said, that we're very particular about introducing wood into this property because the client wants a contemporary design, something that's going to stand the test of time, timeless and not trendy. So we paid attention to the type of dining that we're going to introduce into the space. We ended up with this beautiful marble table. The marble table is so gorgeous. One way or the other, it's interacting with the kitchen stone we have over there because it's the same blend of Calcutta, but very, very subtle as well. Now, underneath the table, you're going to see wooden legs. For me, that was also the dining table. I love that it has wooden legs, very, very timeless, very beautiful. Now, take note, this dining can actually contain up to 6 chairs. This is a 6-seater. But one thing that stood out in the brief was the fact that they want a chair, like a chair with a back, because they like to rest. They like to, I think I must have said it in other videos that they like to relax. They prioritize sofa kind of chairs over chairs. So we had to introduce this particular sofa-like bench with two other chairs. So because they're a family of four, we decided not to clutter the whole space with extra chairs on the other side. First of all, this has taken up a lot of space. We had to pair it with these other two chairs you can see from here. Again, one thing we also did in this space is to add a pop of color to this whole space. Remember, the kitchen is on that side and they have the dining in the same space. So the kitchen is a lot of neutrals going on there. So we had to pay attention to the type of chairs we introduce into the dining. So that's where we had to use the opportunity to introduce our almighty green chairs and green sofa as dining set. Okay, so now that is what inspired the whole shades of green you're seeing in this area. I really love the pop of colors because again it ties in the whole space and yeah, it gives that contrast. So it creates that contrast between here and the kitchen. Okay, and then we introduced this dining light, very simple, beautiful dining light. We felt, okay, since this client is more of a simple but sophisticated, this will just blend in the whole space. And I think this really ties in the whole space. And this has really helped to differentiate between the kitchen and the dining. There are two windows on two opposite sides of the dining. Now we had to introduce Roman blinds on that side and Roman blinds on this side and accessorize with, flowers, okay? And then we also try to create, mimic that symmetry by introducing two different frames on both sides of the walls. We went as far as changing the radiator because we changed the other one. So we went as far as changing this radiator. One thing with me is that I'm tired of radiator covers. So it might be difficult for you to see me actually install radiator covers for a client, except when it's on high request, which I doubt. When we styled up this space, we noticed that that corner of the wall was feeling a little bit dark. We introduced a wooden stool with a table lamp. I wasn't just comfortable with having just one type of lighting here. Forget the picture lights, because I feel like they won't be using the picture light because they're LEDs. So these picture lights most times will be switched off. So we had to add another type of lighting for them in that corner just so that it's not dark. I love the texture of the lamp. I love that it is bulky. It's just making a statement on its own. And then we accessorized with this gorgeous vase that you can see here. It's a large vase, but then again, it's very suitable for this space. Usually I create my bouquet of flowers, so I just buy flowers and put them together the way I want them to look. I love that we were able to add a pop of color, which is just a pop of color into this bouquet, and it really stands out and pops in the black vase. Now when you look at the side of the room, we have patio doors, very large patio doors. So we had to introduce bespoke curtains. I always advise bespoke curtains because they have a way of elevating the space. This is how we have ended up demarcating the kitchen from the dining, and I feel like we have given them a very beautiful space to spend, that quality time with the family. This is very practical. This is very spacious, just like they wanted. I think they'll be very happy when they see this. For me, the highlight of this whole space has to be the pop of green. And not just that, the dining table. I love, in fact, this dining table has to be my favorite. I just love it. I love it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole space, the new kitchen, the utility room, the dining area. The dining area is very beautiful. What do you think about, having like a sofa dining seats? Would you consider doing that? Because for me, I don't know, I was a bit skeptical initially, but now I think I'm loving it because somehow I go chop finish, I go just lie down, they sleep on top of the sofa. Nothing will happen. Anyway, I would love to hear from you guys. Follow me on all my socials and you will see more of the transformation videos. If you need us to style up your home, we are available. We still have some slots this year. Reach out to us on this email on the screen and we look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next review. Stay fabulous. Bye.
Lying awake with the sound of an emptiness you left behind. Trying to sleep, but the silence is haunting this room every night. Oh, I wish the sun would rise and see the clouds pass by. I didn't want to say goodbye to you, but you're gone. I don't wanna close my eyes. It feels like I'm falling down, falling down. Oh, why won't they go away? Pictures of you in my head. The way you left broke my heart. Breathing the air of this morning, but it's not the same without you. Wearing the t-shirt you left, but it no longer smells like you do. I can't stand to feel this way. My body's screaming out your name. I didn't want to say